Chapter 1. The Beginning of the End. My name is Jack Turner, and this story begins in a way that many great tragedies do, with love, trust, and a devastating betrayal. We lived in Seattle, a city known for its gray skies and endless rain, which now seems a fitting backdrop for the storm that was about to unleash in my life. I met Emily in college, and our connection was instantaneous. She had this magnetic charm, with her bright blue eyes and infectious laugh. We married right after graduation, and I was certain that our love would withstand the test of time. For the first 10 years, it did. We built a life together, bought a house in the suburbs, and even welcomed a beautiful daughter, Lily, into our world. Chapter 2. The Subtle Cracks. The first sign that something was wrong came as a whisper, easily dismissed. Emily started working late more often, claiming that her new project at the marketing firm was demanding. At first I believed her. Why wouldn't I? Emily was always ambitious and dedicated to her career. But as weeks turned into months, I began to notice other changes. She became distant, her phone always glued to her hand, and her once affectionate nature turned cold. One evening, as she was taking a shower, I noticed her phone buzzing with a text message. I don't consider myself a snoop, but curiosity got the better of me. The message was from someone named A. It read, "Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Last night was amazing." Chapter 3. Unraveling the Lie. My heart pounded as I tried to process what I had just read. Was it possible that Emily was having an affair? I confronted her that night, but she dismissed my concerns with practiced ease. "A is just a friend from work," she explained, her voice steady but her eyes betraying a hint of guilt. "You're overreacting, Jack." I wanted to believe her, so I did. But the seed of doubt had been planted. Over the next few weeks, I began to notice more discrepancies, late-night phone calls, unexplained absences, and a growing emotional chasm between us. One day, while she was at work, I decided to follow her. It felt wrong, like I was the one betraying her trust. But I had to know the truth. Chapter 4. The Devastating Discovery. Following Emily wasn't easy. She was cautious, almost as if she suspected I might be onto her. After leaving work, she drove across town to a quiet neighborhood. I parked a few houses down and watched as she approached a modest, unassuming house. She rang the doorbell and a man answered, someone I didn't recognize. My world shattered when I saw them kiss. It wasn't just a peck on the cheek. It was passionate and intimate, the kind of kiss reserved for lovers. I sat in my car, paralyzed by a mix of rage and heartbreak, watching as my wife disappeared inside with this stranger. Chapter 5. Confrontation and Deceit. When Emily returned home that night, I was ready. I confronted her with the truth, my hands shaking, voice trembling. She didn't deny it this time. Instead, she broke down in tears, confessing that she had been seeing Andrew, a colleague, for the past 6 months. "I'm sorry, Jack. I never meant for it to go this far," she sobbed. "I love you, but I've fallen for him too. I don't know what to do." Her words cut through me like a knife. How could she claim to love me while betraying our marriage? The foundation of our life together crumbled in an instant. I felt like a fool, deceived and humiliated. Chapter 6. The Aftermath. Emily moved out a week later, leaving Lily and me in the house that once echoed with our laughter and love. I could barely function, consumed by anger and sorrow. Our friends and family tried to offer support, but their pity only deepened my wounds. How do you move on from something like this? Lily, sensing the tension, became quieter, more withdrawn. I tried to shield her from the worst of it, but how do you explain to a 6-year-old that her mother chose someone else over her family? Chapter 7. The struggle to rebuild days turned into weeks, and I forced myself to go through the motions of daily life. Work became my sanctuary, a place where I could lose myself in tasks and forget, even if briefly, the turmoil waiting for me at home. My colleagues knew something was wrong, but I kept the details to myself. Sharing my pain felt like admitting failure. One day, while picking up Lily from school, I ran into Sarah. She was another parent, someone I'd exchanged polite greetings with over the years. She offered a sympathetic smile and invited Lily and me over for a playdate with her son. Reluctantly, I agreed. I knew I needed to start rebuilding some semblance of a normal life for Lily's sake. Chapter 8. New Beginnings. Sarah and I grew closer over the next few months. She was kind, understanding, and had recently gone through a divorce herself. We shared our stories, our struggles, and slowly, she helped me see that life could go on, even after such a profound betrayal. It wasn't easy, but with her support, I began to heal. Lily thrived with her new friend, and gradually, the house that once felt empty started to fill with laughter again. It wasn't the same, and it never would be, but it was a start. Chapter 9. The Unexpected Twist. Just as I thought I was beginning to find my footing, Emily came back into the picture. She showed up one evening, looking worn and regretful. "Andrew and I are over," she confessed. "I made a terrible mistake, Jack. I miss you and Lily. Can we try again?" Her words sent my mind into a tailspin. How could she ask for forgiveness after everything she put us through? Yet a part of me still loved her, the woman I married, the mother of my child. I owed it to Lily to consider the possibility, didn't I? Chapter 10. The Final Decision. I spent countless sleepless nights grappling with the decision. I sought advice from friends, from Sarah, even from a therapist. Emily was persistent, showing up at family events, trying to prove she had changed. Lily was confused, torn between the parents she loved. In the end, I had to make a choice for myself and for Lily. Emily's betrayal had irrevocably damaged our relationship, and while I believed in second chances, I couldn't ignore the deep scars left behind. I sat Emily down and told her that while I forgave her, I couldn't forget. We needed to move on separately, for the sake of our own healing. Chapter 11. Moving Forward. Emily eventually accepted my decision, and we worked out a co-parenting arrangement that put Lily's well-being first. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Sarah and I continued to grow closer, and while I was wary of rushing into anything new, she understood my hesitations. Life didn't return to the way it was, but it evolved into something new, something different. I found strength I didn't know I had, and realized that while betrayal could shatter you, it didn't have to define you. Chapter 12. Rekindling Trust. The first few months after finalizing my decision to stay apart from Emily were a test of resilience. Emily, though heartbroken, respected my choice and focused on rebuilding her relationship with Lily. Our interactions became civil, almost cordial, as we navigated the complexities of co-parenting. Sarah remained a steady presence in my life. Her patience and understanding helped me see that moving on didn't mean forgetting the past, but rather integrating it into a new narrative. We spent more time together, and slowly, the tentative steps toward a romantic relationship began to take shape. Sarah knew I was still healing, and she never pressured me for more than I could give. Chapter 13. The Burden of Guilt. Despite my growing feelings for Sarah, a part of me struggled with guilt. It felt as though I was betraying the vows I had taken with Emily, even though she had already broken them. I confided in Sarah, who listened without judgment. "Jack," she said one evening as we sat on her porch, watching the sunset over Puget Sound, "you deserve happiness. You deserve to be loved and to love without fear. Emily made her choices, and now it's time for you to make yours." Her words resonated deeply, but the path to forgiving myself was arduous. I sought therapy, hoping to untangle the web of emotions that ensnared me. My therapist, Dr. Moore, helped me understand that healing wasn't linear. There would be setbacks, moments of doubt, but each step forward, no matter how small, was progress. Chapter 14. Emily's Struggles. As I worked on myself, Emily faced her own struggles. She tried to mend her fractured relationship with Lily, but it was clear our daughter was conflicted. One day, Emily called me, her voice trembling with frustration. "Jack, I don't know how to reach her. She's so distant." I decided to intervene, arranging a family therapy session to help us navigate this difficult terrain. Dr. Moore agreed to see us as a family, and the sessions were emotionally charged but necessary. Slowly, Lily began to open up about her feelings of confusion and hurt. It was painful to hear, but it was a crucial step toward healing. Chapter 15. A new family dynamic. Over time, our new family dynamic started to solidify. Emily and I maintained a respectful co-parenting relationship, always putting Lily's needs first. The animosity that once existed began to fade, replaced by a mutual understanding of our shared responsibilities. Sarah became a more significant part of our lives. She and Lily developed a close bond, and it was heartwarming to see them interact. Sarah never tried to replace Emily. Instead, she offered a different kind of support and love. Watching them together, I realized that my heart had room for new love, without erasing the old. Chapter 16. The Proposal. 1 year after the betrayal, I found myself standing at a crossroads. My relationship with Sarah had grown deep and meaningful, and I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. But proposing felt monumental, given everything that had happened. I planned a simple, intimate evening at the beach, where we first truly connected. As the sun dipped below the horizon, I took Sarah's hand and spoke from my heart. "Sarah, you've been my rock, my safe haven through the storm. I can't imagine my life without you. Will you marry me?" Tears filled her eyes as she nodded, and for the first time in a long while, I felt a profound sense of hope and joy. Chapter 17. The Wedding. Our wedding was a small, intimate affair, attended by close friends and family. Emily was there, her presence a symbol of the complex but amicable relationship we had forged. Lily was our flower girl, her radiant smile a testament to the healing we had all undergone. As Sarah and I exchanged vows, I felt a sense of closure and a new beginning. We promised to love and support each other through all of life's challenges, and this time, I knew the vows would be honored. Chapter 18. A new chapter. Married life with Sarah was a blend of tranquility and excitement. We continued to build our blended family, each day a testament to our resilience and love. Emily found her own path, eventually meeting someone who cherished her. It was strange but comforting to see her happy and at peace. Lily flourished, surrounded by love and support from all sides. She grew into a confident, joyful young girl. The scars of the past now just faint echoes. We made sure she knew that both her parents loved her unconditionally, and that family, no matter how fractured, could still be whole in its own way. Chapter 19. Reflections. Years later, as I sat on the porch with Sarah, watching yet another Seattle sunset, I reflected on the journey that had brought us here. Life had been unpredictable, filled with unexpected turns, but it had also been incredibly rewarding. Betrayal had once threatened to destroy me, but it also led me to a place of profound understanding and love. It taught me that even the deepest wounds could heal, and that second chances were not just possible but often necessary. Sarah squeezed my hand, her touch grounding me in the present. "We've come a long way, haven't we?" she said, her eyes reflecting the fading light. "Yes, we have," I replied, smiling, "and I wouldn't change a thing." Epilogue. The road ahead. Our story is one of many, marked by pain, recovery, and new beginnings. It's a reminder that life's darkest moments can lead to the brightest days. We continue to face challenges, but with love, trust, and resilience, we navigate them together. As the years go by, I know that whatever the future holds, we are ready to face it. Our journey is far from over, and each day is a new chapter in our evolving story.